Live from only Connecticut, it's Twilight Tonight, fanfiction edition. Bow chicka wow 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 wow. Chicka wow. Welcome everyone to a non-visual episode of Twilight Tonight. I am your host, Bia, and today we have no Katie because things are so busy in the summertime. Um, so I have thought of a fun new idea, which hopefully you all will enjoy as well. Uh, I am going to be reading a fan fiction inspired by our previous episode where I said I wanted to see Bella and Emmett fan fiction. So we're going to do that. Um, Here is part one of chapter one of The Longest Summer by Lexi Cullen 17 from fanfiction.net. Chapter one is called Vodka Lemonade, which I thought was appropriate for the summertime. Here's a little description of the story. Bella wants Edward. The only problem is he's a camp counselor at her summer camp. And although Bella has always been one of Edward's favorite campers, that's all she'll ever be to him. Right? When Bella returns as a counselor, can she change his mind? So this is, I mean, in all honesty, I've never read fan fiction before, so I keep looking up like what all of the different acronyms mean. So I believe this is AH means alternate history. No, that's probably not right. No one correct me in the in the comments. So here we go. We'll get started with part one of this. And I'm hoping that next time that I record, I'll be able to use my camera. But until then, here is, like I said before, chapter one, Vodka Lemonade. Bella. Here it was, the big moment. Weeks of failed attempts at seduction, drunken confessions, and confusion clouded my mind. But here I was. I stood before him, trembling slightly. He approached slowly, like he was somehow afraid that he was going to scare me off. Silly boy, I came to you. Bella, he whispered my name reverently, as if it were prayer. I gulped. Oh. No one had ever said my name like that before, and it gave me the confidence to continue. What are you doing here? He stood directly in front of me now, brushing the hot tears off my cheeks with the pads of his thumbs. He looked so sad, so broken, but so desperate. In that moment, the past few weeks ceased to matter. I had him. I had this. I could do this. Okay, pep talk over, Bella. I lifted my head to meet his before placing a shaking hand on his cheek. He sighed and leaned into my hand. In a rare moment of determination, I moved my hand from his cheek to rest at the base of his neck, pulling his mouth towards mine. He resisted ever so slightly before groaning and crashing his lips into mine. Bella, 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 he moaned, tugging off my shirt and unbuttoning my shorts. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how long I've wanted this. The world slowed down as he began to remove his own clothing. First, his shirt. I feel like I can't read this on YouTube. I feel like it's just gonna be First, his shirt met mine on the floor, revealing a set of washboard abs that I knew were there, but oh, was it different to see it now. Frick. I was gonna totally lose it. Next, he kicked off his sneakers and pulled off his pants. You're so beautiful, I breathed, taking in his body for the first time. Within seconds, his body was crushed against mine again, leaning us back into his bed. I didn't realize they were on a. Okay. This is a little preface, so. We collapsed in a heap of groaning limbs, hands holding onto another for dear life. I'm so uncomfortable. His tongue slid into my His tongue slid into my mouth, making us both whimper with pleasure. Without further ado, he moved his mouth to my neck as he reached behind me to unclasp my bra. Do you think he used two hands or just one? In the distance, I heard a door slam and a familiar laugh pierce through the silence of the night. My eyes widened and I froze for a millisecond before talking myself down and returning to his attention. But the damage was already fucking done. He pushed himself off of me, sitting on the edge of the bed with his eyes downcast, surely avoiding the tears that I could now feel streaming down my cheeks. Boys were not made to do well with crying virgins in their bed. Oh my God, she's a virgin. We shouldn't be doing this, Bella. He sighed, running a hand through his tousled hair. This is wrong. I'm sorry. He stuttered, throwing my clothes back at me before fleeing his own bunk as I looked for something to cover my naked chest. It's wrong, I repeated in my mind. He was right, of course. This was wrong. Everything was wrong. I sat there clutching his pillow to my chest, finally allowing my heaving sobs to overtake me. It's wrong. It's so wrong. And that is the end of the preface. um, okay. Well, hopefully that introduction was absolutely thrilling. And I'm so excited to get really into chapter 1 of The Longest Summer by Lexi Collins 17. Chapter 1, Vodka Lemonade. And this is day 1. LB. I cringed at Emmett's pet name for me as he barreled through the small airport. Em, put me down. Oh, she squealed that, gasping for air in his huge clutches. Finally, on my feet, he leaned over to pick up my bags, slinging the large duffel over his shoulder. Aw, LB, I've missed you. I almost growled as I felt his hand ruffle my hair. LB stood for Little Bella, and even though Emmett had dubbed me with the nickname at the age of 8, whoa, it had yet to disappear. Mentioned before, I've never really read fan fiction, and I don't know how I'm gonna take to this, what? They've known each other since 8? What? Well, anyway, let's see how it goes. Vodka lemonade. I'm currently drinking a rosé cider. Very delicious. Anyway. Even though Emmett had dubbed me with the nickname at the age of 8, it had yet to disappear, no matter how many times I begged for him to just call me just Bella. Not only that, but the nickname spread like wildfire. And as soon as I stepped onto Long Lake campgrounds, I was LB. Fucking Emmett and his gossiping. This summer, though, I was determined to be rid of the initials permanently. Finally. Hopefully. Her name is Bella, Emmett, remember? Alice laughed, peering from behind her duffel. It was as large as she was. Why does Alice never get called little? Alice fucking Brandon, as I live and breathe. Emmett's smile was contagious, and soon we were all laughing. Why is her last name Brandon? Okay, I think I just need to get over that it's different. Okay. Hey, you cut your hair, he added, wrapping an arm around her midsection, pulling her flesh against him, bags and all. Alice gasped loudly as he tugged at her newly shorn dark locks, while simultaneously thrashing her legs against the hulking body that kept her in place. I smiled at the sight of them playing. My pseudo family was being reunited piece by piece, and it was starting to feel like summer. It feels like summer. Emmett McCarty, I scolded. That's a funny last name. You put my best friend down right now. Emmett's head snapped around to meet mine as his trademark grin spread across his face, showing off his killer dimples. Never breaking his grin, Emmett placed Alice down on the ground before strolling up to me, wrapping an arm around my shoulder. This is unreal. I can't believe you guys are here for pre-camp. Pre-camp. I didn't even believe it when they told me my two favorite campers were coming out here as counselors. You guys 18 yet, or what? He laughed, squeezing my shoulders. Yuck. Really, Emmett? This is crazy. Really, Emmett? you, you okay. I I I don't even know if I want to say. Really, Emmett? You wouldn't boink us if we were under 18? You know, the age of consent in the state of Maine is 16 years old. Jesus Christ. I rolled my eyes at Emmett's face of mock shock. That was just how we were. Emmett may have been 10 years. Oh, God. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can do this, actually. Oh, it's what a. Okay. That's okay, though, because um, I have decided that I don't think I can handle the M-rated fan fictions quite yet. So I think we're gonna go into the T-rated. And okay, after much deliberation and searching, I have found something for us to read. It is a completed work, which I found on Archive of Our Own. It is called Second Time Lucky by orphan underscore account. Is that how that works? Did or is this just an account that's been orphaned? Yep. Okay, it's an account that's been orphaned. Great. Um Here is a quick summary of the short story that we will be reading today. Bella Swan is done with her manipulative vampire boyfriend, Edward Cullen, but when she finally breaks it off with him, will a certain muscled vamp be there to show her what she was missing? So, here we go. Let's. Chapter 1 of 2. I sat in a cramped airplane seat, seething at the idiot that was Edward Cullen. This has so many swears already. I mean, who does he think he is? Pulling. I'm so uncomfortable with reading swears. I just want a nice Mormon clean fan fiction. Is that too much to ask for? I think so. Um okay, that's okay. I'm going to try really hard to. I mean, who does he think he is pulling this? This has to be the most manipulative thing he has ever done. All I want is for this insanely toxic relationship to be over, but no. Every time I think I'm out, he's dragging me right back in. I told him once again that I no longer loved him and that his crazy vampire ass decided that he couldn't live without me, so he went to the Volturi, the vampire lawmakers, to ask for death. How pathetic. I don't know how I ever put up with him. He would sneak into my room without my knowledge and watch me sleep before we were even dating. Yeah, I know. Big red flag, but what can you do? Although I now loathe him with every fiber of my being, his death will not be on me, hence why I am currently on a 10-hour flight to Italy. Bella, if you keep frowning like that, you're gonna get wrinkles, came Alice's squeaky voice from besides me. F you, Alice. I see thou. And your crazy brother, too, I say in a rushed whisper. I hear Emmett laugh from the row behind, making me smirk. No need to be so rude. I'm only trying to help, she simpers, acting hurt. I let out an annoyed laugh and close my eyes, hoping the flight will be over soon. The plane bounces to a stop as we arrive in Italy, finally. Of course, the whole family has decided to come. Emmett and his sister Rosalie, Alice, and her husband Jasper. We rent a car and Alice speeds towards Volterra. I squeeze my eyes shut, praying we don't crash. You alright, Bells? You look like you're gonna spew. Emmett laughs from beside me, poking me in the face. I can hear the rest of the car laugh. Frickin' jerks. F off. Buzz off, Emmett. We all know you guys will be fine if Alice collides with anything, but unfortunately, I'm more destructible. And stop calling me Bells. I snap. Aw, Bells, as if I'd let anything happen to you, he says in a sickly sweet voice. This causes butterflies to explode in my stomach. I really need to get over this stupid crush. I am not falling for another Cullen. Besides, I'd be an idiot to believe that Emmett could think of me as anything but his fake brother's strange girlfriend. I start to imagine what life would be like with Emmett, kicking myself for even letting myself fall down this hole again. After the long flight, I begin to doze off. Next thing I know, I am flung forward as Alice brings the cars to a screeching halt, hitting my head off the seat in front of me. She should really wear her seatbelt. Ow, I groan, rubbing the center of my forehead. What the heck, Alice? What the crow, Alice? I huff. The next thing I know, there's a pair of cold, large hands covering my forehead. I look up to see Emmett's wide eyes staring back at me, full of concern. Shoot, Bella, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I should have caught you. He apologized, my face turning a deep red as I blushed profusely. Uh, yeah, really no problem. I'm fine, honestly. I stutter as I make my way out of the car as fast as I can, almost falling out of it in the process. Oh my god. Why do I always have to make such a fool out of myself? All he did was make sure I was okay, and now I'm out here blubbering like a seal. That's silly. I look around and notice we're in a beautiful courtyard with what seemed to be a hand sculpted fountain, the sun bouncing off the streams of water emerging from depths. How do you know the difference between hand sculpted and not hand sculpted? Are there different types of sculpting that are not done from hands? Let us know in the comments below. It's stunning, I mutter under my breath. Yeah, it is, I hear Emmett say from behind me. When you two are quite done, we still need to find Edward, sneered Rose. I glared at her and was about to say something until Alice spoke. He should be right over there, Alice directed, successfully steering the conversation away from yet another fight between me and Rose. Why do they call her Rose instead of Rosalie? Anywho, we all made our way across the courtyard, and, of course, there he stood in all his idiotic glory. I do hate Alice sometimes, but at least her visions do come in handy. Edward looks over at us, sweeping us all until his eyes come to rest on mine. He actually has the nerve to smile. I see red. I storm towards him and let out all of my pent-up anger. How dare you do this to me? I hiss in his face. You are a child. You're a manipulative child. I will not have your death on my conscience. You will not do that to me. I spit out. The smile doesn't drop from his face. If I thought I could punch him without breaking my hand, I definitely would. You care, he states. If you didn't, you'd have let me kill myself, but you didn't. You still love me. He grins at me as if he's just solved the mystery of our relationship. You are either insane or an absolute moron to think I still love you, I retorted coldly. I turned to leave, but before I even take a step, I feel a cold hand grab my elbow, causing me to shiver in disgust. He drags me back, causing me to fall hard, leaving an instant bruise on my arm. I moan as I rub my sore butt. Before I can explode at Edward, Emmett is punching him, sending him flying down the passageway. The next second, he's by my side helping me up. Bells, are you okay? He shakes his head and checks me over. After seeing the bruise, he rests his cold hand on it, making me sigh in relief. Emmett, stop being so dramatic. I was barely touched. Edward laughs as he walks back over. I hear a deep rumbling from Emmett's chest as I am firmly placed behind him and notice that he is bent into a fighting stance. Not here, hisses Jasper, glancing warily around at the people that are starting to notice our presence. Worried expressions cross over all their faces as they make quick routes to their car. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but we're a seat short, I point out. That's all right. You can just sit on my lap, Emmett teased, throwing a wink in my direction. Why does he have to do this? I'm slowly falling for him, and all he can do is jokingly flirt with me. He must have seen my face falling because he quickly adds, Right, Bells, no need to look like I've just kicked a puppy. He pouted, looking put out. He can't seriously be upset. He must be trying to make me feel bad for him. Like that'll work. See, Emmett, she'll only ever see me in that way, Edward stated with a condescending smirk on his face. He is getting on my very last nerve. He's such a know-it-all. His mind reading only makes it worse. But does that mean that Emmett could feel something for me? Well, there's only one way to find out. Emmett, I would love to sit on your lap, I purr, sauntering over to him. Could it be true? Could he really have feelings for me, or is it just Edward being his irritating self? I placed myself on Emmett's lap, wiggling to get comfy, causing him to groan. What? I giggled. I'm not that heavy. She's 115 pounds. This just caused him to shake his head. Trust me, that's not the problem, he said, grimacing. I was so confused. What was he on about? Then I got it, or more accurately, felt it. My cheeks went up in flames just as I heard Edward growling from outside. What the crow? Edward's gonna lose his crow in a minute. I got out through bursts of laughter. Oh, and is that a problem? He retorted with a sly smirk on his face. Not at all. Have you seen yourself? You're at least double the size of him. I explained seriously. I saw his eyes light up, a playful look crossing his face. You bet I'm twice his size. He replied, suggestively, causing me to return my fits of giggling. Without warning, everybody froze up, not moving a muscle. What? What did I say? The laughter dying in my throat as a chilling voice answered. Oh. Nothing, dear. It's what they did that's the problem. You see, any human that knows about our world must, how should I put it, be dealt with. Bum, bum, bum. So that is the end of chapter 1. Bow, 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 ba-dow, ba-dow. Thank you for listening to the episode so far. I hope you're enjoying it. If you want to leave a thumbs up or subscribe, share with your friends, that would be super awesome. Twilight Tonight is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and what else? Oh yeah, YouTube. Okay, enjoy the rest of this episode. Thank you. Bye. Bow, 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 ba-dow, ba-dow. Honestly, we're kind of cooking with gas, so why don't we just go ahead and do chapter 2? I know this is a super short one, and if anyone has any suggestions for other stories that we should read, then definitely put them in the comments below. I know that this is sort of a more relaxed episode, and I would honestly even say that it's a little bit ASMR. Oh my gosh. No, I just know that I'm definitely speaking lower than how I usually would with Katie, but one of the tags in this story is Bella with a backbone. So that's why she keeps swearing, but I am uncomfortable with reading swears, okay? That is why I'm reading the Mormon book. So, I am just replacing them or getting rid of them. So if you'd like to read more swears, definitely, find the story for yourself. Second Time Lucky archive of our own. Let's go ahead and get into chapter 2. We were led down a dark passageway, the only noise my footsteps echoing off the stone walls and the ominous flapping of the guards' cloaks. Well, this was just fantastic. I was gonna die because of Edward. I should have just let him die and this whole mess wouldn't have even happened. I mean, who does he think he is, dragging me into all this? He doesn't love me. He's only obsessed. Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. If this doesn't end, he's gonna get the both of us killed, if he hasn't already. I hear a deep chuckle coming from behind me, filling the tense silence, making everybody jump. Jesus, Bells, you really do despise him, don't you? Emmett laughs out. I hear the guards ahead of us let out snorts of laughter. My cheeks were on fire as I realized I'd been muttering my thoughts out loud. Oh my god. Stupid vampire hearing, I murmur under my breath, causing the whole group to descend into silent giggles. Well, everyone except Edward. At least this relieved some of the tension, as the next moment I hear a childlike voice coming from one of the guards. Well, well, Mrs. Swan, it does seem you have a very strong opinion of Mr. Cullen here. She chuckled, her entire face lighting up with mischief. I could only respond with a cheesy grin. How are these people so feared? They continued to lead us down the passageway until we came across an old, great wooden door. Jane, the guard member that had just spoken, pushed it open as if it weighed nothing. How useful it would be to have vampire strength. As we passed through, we were met with a large, spacious room, the only light coming from flickering candles spaced evenly around the walls. We were greeted by a beautiful, tall, blonde, very human woman who shakily addresses us with a welcome back. The guard doesn't even acknowledge her, but just sweep past her into the throne room opposite. At my confused expression, Emmett explains with a grave face. She's hoping to be turned someday. She thinks if she plays her cards right, they won't kill her, but make her like them instead. Wait, she's here on her free will? She's not being forced to be here? I question, incredulously. Emmett just shakes his head, a somber expression crossing his face. I look up to see 3 figures resting on thrones at the end of the room, each with striking red eyes and papery, thin skin that looked like it could tear apart if they moved too much. The man in the middle, I gathered, must be Arrow, the leader, and of course, had to be another mind reader. Let's just hope my weird mental block holds up. How would she know all of this? We stop several feet away from the 3 men as Emmett moves, putting me behind him, eliciting a laugh from the blonde vampire, Caius. Caius. What do you think you can do? He scoffs. You're surrounded by the most elite vampires in this world. Nothing you do. He was interrupted by Arrow, breaking in with a condescending tone. Now, Caius, no need to be so rude. They are our guests, after all. His beady eyes began scanning the group, fixing on mine and causing me to shiver. Ah, Isabella. I've heard so much about you. Or should I say, seen so much about you? He exclaimed, almost jumping with joy. My. I've never seen a gift so powerful in a mere human before. I can only dream about your power once you are turned. He grins out excitedly. Just then, a roar comes from Edward as he screams in protest. Edward, shut up, I spit out. You know this is what I want, so I don't see what the big deal is. Yes, I would have liked to wait until I'd finished high school, but what can you do? At least I'll be a better match to other vampires than I am now. Anyone in this room could snap my neck before I could even blink. It's infuriating to be so weak all the time. And to think Edward has the balls to still believe that he has any say over any part of my life just makes me despise him all the more. I look back into Eros's eyes as he stretches his hand out towards me. May I? He questions. Knowing I have no other choice, I move towards him, causing a deep growl to explode from Emmett's chest. I see the guards drop into a fighting stance, but Arrow merely waves a hand and they back off. Emmett, calm down. What's he gonna do? I say flippantly, knowing there's a lot he could do. I give him a small smile and continue my journey over to Arrow, who, surprisingly gently, grasps my hand within his and pauses, his eyes glazing over. We stand like this for a few seconds until he barks out an insane laugh, causing me to jump. Ah, Isabella, what an anomaly you are. He smiles, his eyes sparkling. Well, what was I supposed to say to that? He releases my hand by saying, I eagerly await your next visit. I am intrigued to see how your abilities develop into your immortal life. Wait, so does this mean I'm not being turned now? At my confused expression, Arrow chuckled. What? Do you think of me as some type of monster? Isabella, of course, I wouldn't expect you to cut off your ties with your human life so quickly. No. My only request is that you are turned within 1 year. That will be all. I hope to see you soon. Taking the hint, I thank him and make my way back towards Emmett, pulling him out of the room. I don't hear the others behind us, and I assume they're finishing up with the three brothers. Emmett and I make our way back out of the castle and to the car. I can't believe how well that went. I have to be turned, which I wanted, and still have time to finish school. I became lost in my own thoughts until I felt the breeze blowing slightly on my face. I looked around and noticed that we were in the same courtyard as earlier, only now it was empty. I was pulled into a tight hug by Emmett. I squeeze out. I can't breathe. This causes him to loosen his grip, but he doesn't let go. Bells, I thought they were going to kill you. I felt so powerless. There was nothing I could do. He choked out. Wow. He just summed up exactly how I feel around all vampires all the time. He finally releases me, scanning my face. I gave him a small smile under his scrutinization, and he gave me a wide, toothy grin. I can't believe you're gonna be like me, he says, in a whisper, causing my face to fall. Of course he wouldn't be excited about my change. Now he's gonna be stuck with me forever. I thought he'd finally start seeing me as more than just a friend, but obviously I was wrong. He must have seen my face fall because he quickly explained, Come on, Bells. It's not the end of the world. You'll love it, he said with a grin. Always one to find the silver lining. I needed to let him off the hook before he felt like he owed me or had to take care of me after my change. I don't want him to be my babysitter. Look, Emmett, this is an unnecessary hassle for you, and I'm sorry this has all happened. Once I'm turned, I'll be out of your hair. I won't be a mess for you to deal with anymore, and you can get on with your life once I'm gone. I rush out, not meeting his piercing stare. I rapidly blink to stop the moisture collecting in my eyes. I will not cry in front of him. He doesn't say a word. The silence is suffocating. Bella, look at me, came his gentle voice. I shook my head, not trusting my voice. I heard him take a step towards me, and I felt his fingers under. I feel like this has changed from past tense to present tense, and I've been trying to fix it, but I think I just have to read it as is because it's getting kind of confusing. So I apologize. I hear him take a step towards me and feel his fingers under my chin, pushing my head up to meet his gaze. Don't you ever think that you'd be a burden. You're the only thing that has made my life worth living. Before you came along, my life was on repeat, carrying out the same mundane tasks every day. I forgot that life could be beautiful and interesting. I forgot what it felt like to live, and you gave me that back. I owe you my life, and I plan on repaying that debt every day until you command me to stop. You are not a burden. By the end of his speech, there are tears flowing down my face. I look into his eyes and see pure honesty. I take a step forward and crash my lips into his, pouring all the want and desire I feel for him into the kiss. He returns it with equal passion, sucking on my lower lip, causing me to moan. He grins. I can almost feel the satisfaction rolling off him until he is forcefully dragged away and thrown across the courtyard. Suddenly, there are cold hands checking over my body. I try to back away, but one hand tightens around my wrist, causing me to groan in pain. I look into the striking green eyes that I once found mesmerizing, but now only make me feel disgusted. Get your hands off me, I spit out, trying in vain to remove my arm from his grasp. He just smirks at me, causing my blood to boil. Bella, I wasn't the one trying to drink from you, now was I? He states slowly in his usual condescending tone. Why does he insist on talking to me like I'm a child? He's so arrogant, and he genuinely thinks he is above me just because he's a vampire? Remove your hand from her now before I remove it from your body, comes a chilling voice from behind Edward. I look over his shoulder to see Emmett practically shaking with rage as he makes his way over to Edward, who looks like he may actually shit himself. I stifle my laugh at the look on Edward's face as he slowly loosens his grip on me. I pull away and run over to Emmett, who quickly places me behind him. I can't wait till I'm less destructible and I can stop being treated like I'm gonna break if someone so much as touches me. Jasper, Alice, and Rosalie are standing in the middle of the courtyard looking between Emmett and Edward, judging whether they need to get involved. You could almost see the wheels turning in Jasper's head as his military training started to kick in. Edward, just back off, came Rosalie's cold voice. She's not even worth it. I felt Emmett tense up at her words, but I just squeezed his hand and led him over to the car. This was not the time for an all out fight. I could feel my exhaustion finally catching up to me as I fought to keep my eyes open. Can we please just leave? I'm too tired to deal with this right now and just really looking forward to being back home. So if you all wouldn't mind. I finish as I jump in the car, Emmett following just behind me. As he slides into the seat beside me, I rest my head on his muscular shoulder, it being far more comfortable than it looks, and fall asleep within seconds. When I next open my eyes, I'm being gently shaken awake by Emmett, who explains that we're outside of the airport. Great, another 10-hour flight. I groggily make my way out of the car, stretching once I'm out. I can feel Emmett snake his hand into mine, and I look up to see a massive smile on his face. I give him a toothy grin in return as we head to the airport. I can't believe this is happening. Me and Emmett are together now. Or am I just a quick fling for a bored vampire? I guess there's only one way to find out. And there have been no updates since. This was written in 2020, so that is how it ends. Thank you all so much for listening to this quickie little fanfic episode. I'm going to try and get it out quickly, especially as Katie and I are sort of, traveling over the summer, doing all that good stuff. We might be a little slower with getting the chapters out, but hopefully these fan fiction episodes will be entertaining. And definitely let me know in the comments if you have other thoughts of um, ships that you want me to look into. If you want me to read like mature content, definitely let me know. But I figured this sort of fluff or suggestive content is sort of the best, most digestible. Anywho, um, let us know in the comments who you're sort of feeling like, maybe from this story. I'm not sure. I'm definitely feeling like Bella from the story because it is almost midnight here. And I'm just recording this because I have just had a stroke of genius. I don't know if that's what I am trying to say. Anywho, thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. um, Twilight Tonight is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Share it with your friends. Share it with your mom. Share it with your dad. And we will see you on the next one. I'm Bia, and this has been Twilight Tonight. Bow chicka wow 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 wow. Chicka wow. Okay. And oh, and also if I'm way too whispery and I'm putting you to sleep, then sorry. Okay, bye.